issues, but at possible infrastructure improvements that may need to be addressed in doing so. And lastly, we would try to create some kind of a program that would not be onerous to administer, since both of you are having huge issues with staffing and budgets. We don't want to create anything that's so complicated that you have to have a whole new department or several new people who are just tracking this very thing. And you can see that it can be complicated to track. So those are some of the considerations that we are looking at and that we would like to pursue before the end of the year. And the reason we'd like to do it by the end of the year is it's easier to track sales and use tax in a calendar year, or you can do it on a fiscal year basis, but you really should think of it on an auditing basis that's fairly consistent. So clearly, if we're going to do this, we'd like to try and come back to you by the end of the year with solid recommendations so it could begin in January. So that's what I have to present to you today, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, but before I go to the full board, Michael and I have been on this. Michael, do you have any comments to add at this point? Okay. To the board members, questions, concerns, Supervisor Pinches.
Well, this is actually the first meeting that I've been to where there's any talk of this. This is really, today it's really a general talking about how taxes are collected and whatnot. I've been in the retail business since I was 17 years old in this county, so I could probably write a small pamphlet on how to either have to pay more or get out of paying. You said over 300 new people are being hired to, because like you stated, sales tax in itself, well, most of these are basically voluntary.
Absolutely.
And without the idea of somebody coming to your business and auditing you, there's a lot. I know businesses out there that don't even collect sales taxes. So if they're not collecting it, they're not paying it. So not only is the county missing out on the 1%, the state's missing out on their 6.25%. But that's, you say they hired over 300 new people to do this?
Supervisor Pinches, you've hit on the exact problem. It's self-reporting. Lots of folks get confused on how to report it, and you're right that sometimes it's just too expensive or onerous to do, so they simply don't. And the way that other jurisdictions tend to handle that is they actually go out on an annual basis and audit themselves. But the state this year, just in the last month, hired 300 temporary employees, they're not going to be full-time regular staff, to go out and spot audit throughout the entire state, because they do realize that there has been so much that's uncollected.
But if they're not real trained, they don't even know what the hell they're looking for.
I don't know the level of training or detail or.
Yeah. For instance, what's real common, this is what a friend of mine told me over in Sacramento Valley. If you have a corner gas station that has a high volume of gas, all you do is not record a couple of those where you purchase, say 2 loads of gas, which is $10,000, 10,000 gallons, roughly $40,000 a load. So you don't record where you bought 2 of those loads. So that means you can save this. You charge the sales tax, and you save the 7.25% on $4 gasoline. So on 2 loads a month, you're making about $5,600 a month right there. You don't show it coming in, so you don't show it going out. It's getting to be real common.
Well, and then
Just
there are special regulations for jet fuel, and it's not the same as in auto fuel.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of irregularities in the law, which is one of the reasons I think that the state is looking at overhauling it.
My point is, if you don't show where you purchase those goods at the wholesale level, then when you sell them at the retail level, you don't have to show the sales tax on the sell them at the retail level. And if you don't show them with coming in, then there's no way they can audit you on going out, because it don't show. All you got to do is give the guy, the wholesaler, a few bucks to tear up the invoice, and you're home free. So if these auditors don't know what the hell they're doing, they're not going to get very far. I mean, like I say, I could write a small pamphlet on how to get out of the voluntary tax industry. But
You're from Laytonville, right?
Well, you don't be in a business from you're 17 years old and not learn anything. But I don't know where this is leading to our tax sharing. I guess my first question would be, if you set up a tax sharing agreement, number one, what are the boundaries that this committee's been talking about? I think there's some first. I don't know where we start in this process, but before we hire consultants and whatnot to move forward with it, I think we ought to talk about what are the parameters. No, first of all, what's the boundary? Second of all, what taxes are we talking about? A tax sharing agreement could involve all the way from property tax sharing. I mean, you mentioned, is a good point, you mentioned the idea of the not the I'm trying to think of the name. No, when you sell a piece of property, the
The
county
real
gets.
estate transfer fee.
Yeah, the counties get 100% of the transfer tax. For instance, we had here a few years ago when Louisiana Pacific sold their properties, Mendocino County received kind of like a windfall over $500,000. I'm not so sure that's something we would want to give up and share with a city or two cities, whatnot. So it's things like that. So I would want to know, what are the parameters of what taxes are we talking about?
Well, this-
this is my first opportunity to talk about this.
No, and
I've been
that-
hearing about this tax sharing agreement for 2 years since I've been on this board, and it's all been kind of around me, but not to me. And so I got some real, before I'm willing to spend more money, as your contract was, I'm assuming, approved by the CEO's office, it never even come to the board for approval. So I want to know, what are we talking about here? What are our boundaries? And I don't think that's been even discussed yet.
Well, I can tell you what our firm was retained to do. We were retained by both the city of Ukiah and the county, the city manager's office and the CEO's office, to help the CEO and the city manager understand their actual sales and use tax, to talk to them about what are the considerations that both parties would need to consider, and to help educate